My friend Troy Mansfield, the owner of WINOGA Lodge, invited me on a September moose hunt. He drew a bull tag and offered to gift me a cow tag. While I've been on my share of fly-in fishing trips, this was a trip of firsts for me. My first moose hunt and my first fly-in hunting trip. I'm still so green to the world of hunting, and the anticipation leading up to this trip was so high. While I realize no hunting trip is ever a guarantee, our hopes were set on coming face to face with a moose of Northern Ontario. Guys, welcome to WINOGA Lodge. We're kind of just in the parking lot here, but I haven't been here for like probably 8 or 9 years. Last time I was here was with Mr. Aaron Wiebe, and we were filming a muskie show with a guy named Troy Mansfield, the owner of WINOGA. Had a great time. Troy and I became friends, stayed in contact afterwards, and WINOGA has amazing fishing outposts all over the place. They've got an island lodge, they've got mainland cabins, but yes, as I mentioned, they have some amazing hunting opportunities. And when Troy and I were talking over the years, he would send me some moose pictures and said, hey, if you ever want to come film a moose hunt, I'd love to bring you along. So finally the stars aligned and we're doing it. It's the end of September. We're just getting packed up, running the last couple errands, and we're gonna be headed to the floatplane base shortly. We got Brandon along. I'm gonna introduce you to the crew, and we're gonna be flying probably in like half an hour. Our plane took off from a small floatplane base in Sioux Lookout, Ontario, and after a stunning flight, we arrived at our base camp for the week. Oh, it's Big Troy. Troy, tell me about yourself.
Oh man.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did. I'm a third generation outfitter and guide. Yeah.
There you go.
Grew up doing this.
Wow, so you've been on a couple moose hunts.
Just a few.
Here's the other half of the team.
Oh, hello.
Mr. Bailey.
The Bailster.
What's your role?
My role?
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, he is helping with everything. There you go. And we got Brandon.
Brando. There.
So that's the one we want, Troy? Something like that?
Yeah, that's definitely something.
That's the dream?
That's the dream right there.
How big is that?
Mid-50s? Big? Giant? I don't know. Giant.
Okay, so question for you, Troy.
Yeah.
What is it, so there's a 50-inch muskie is the target for muskie fishermen. What is it for a moose hunter?
50 inches.
50? It's the same?
It's about the same equivalent of what you want to reach.
We're looking through the photo album here at the outpost. And there's some big walleyes and some big pike. Are these big pike in here too?
Yeah, they would.
Wow. Wow, that's big. I mean, everyone I talk to says that, you know, shooting the moose is like 20% of the work and the 80% is actually bringing it out of the bush. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the pain. I'm ready for some physical fitness. Moose hunting is all new to me. And I'm not good at getting up early, so hopefully that's not a big factor. We can sleep in, right? That is the thing about hunting versus fishing, is you can still get away fishing, sleeping in a lot of the time. Hunting, you can't really get away sleeping in hunting. I've just seen that too many times. So yeah, we're gonna have a little chat with the boys shortly. I'm gonna ask them a lot of dumb questions.
We shot a moose at the canoe.
Yeah.
I had a hunter named Kurt shoot a moose there.
Man.
I had him shoot a moose there. I had Kurt shoot a moose there. I had Kurt shoot him.
So the whole lake? Okay,
It's
so
excellent moose.
what were you saying about the moose? What wind direction do we want?
If we were going to go into this lake, we'd want a north wind.
And
Right, because we'd be on this shoreline, right? So our scent would be blowing onto the lake and not into the woods, and the moose would come into the calm part of the lake.
and the moose will favor
The wind,
wind
to
behind them?
wind to their back. Yep. Yeah, whatever the wind is, we'll check the weather here tonight, and in the morning really is what will dictate which way we go. But a moose will go out to 20 feet of water and they'll dive down and they'll eat. Like a moose,
No.
a moose can
Yeah.
dive down 20 eat.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, majority of their vegetable.
I feel like you're messing with me.
No, no, I've seen it, so
No.
I ain't making it up.
They'll dive down.
20 feet. Yep.
No.
Yep.
I don't believe that.
Well,
That's unbelievable.
it really is.
I guess every situation is a little bit different as far as decoy goes. Like, okay, what's your game plan right now? Like, if you had to...
If it's a south wind, we're probably going to go down to the river.
Yeah.
And
then as soon as you see one, are you going straight into shore, parking, setting up for a shot, and then calling them towards you?
Depending.
Okay.
There might not be enough time to do that. We might paddle around a corner. You might be standing.
It might be 50 yards, like going around the corner.
And can you shoot while paddling?
Yes.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
But there can't be a motor on there?
Correct. Motor has to be detached from the boat.
Okay, so you might take the motor to go a long distance, take it off, and then we'd paddle and have...
Yep. I'd only have the trolling motor on while we're actually like traveling, not
Okay.
engaging in hunting, right? So I just use it for transportation and take it off. You know, it's nice to have cooler mornings. We're going to have a few days where it's going to get pretty warm. But usually the moose will still be active right away in the morning, but it'll just shut them down earlier.
Yeah.
And then they probably just become more active in the afternoon or late evening again, depending on the weather.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm going to just lose my mind. When's sunrise? Set the alarm for 10:30?
Yeah.
10:30.
Good morning. Welcome to moose camp, to moose season, to opening morning of my first moose hunt ever. The one thing that Troy told me when we planned this trip, he said, get hip boots. I'm like, what are hip boots? Hip boots are essentially like waders that stop at your hips. They're boots with this extension. And when I told my wife, Sam, that I needed to get these boots for the trip, she's like, Jay, you have like 4 pairs of boots. Why do you need these boots? And I'm like, Troy, do we really need these? He's like, yes, get the hip boots. So we got the hip boots. They're pretty sexy. There we go. Hip boots, pretty much guaranteed a moose now. I think we're heading to the far south end of the lake, and I'm sure we're gonna learn lots today and maybe see a moose. I don't even know. It'd be pretty crazy to get it done the first morning, but I have no expectations. So I'm mentally prepared to do this for 7 days straight without even seeing a moose. So anything will be a bonus. Yo, Troy. What time is it?
About 6:15.
You're supposed to say moose time.
It is moose time.
Are you pumped? Is this like Christmas morning for you?
This is better than Christmas morning.
And look at that. We found a moose already. When I envisioned moose hunting, it was everything this morning was. Up before the sunrise, crisp fall temperatures, thick fog over the water, and waiting at the edge of a big swampy bay.
We're probably gonna sit here for a little bit, just kind of wait, see if anything's moving naturally. Every so often I'll give out a few calls and just listen to see if anything responds. It's opening day, it's early, a little pre-rut, but it's, about the time where the magic starts happening. But you don't want to overcall and overpressure the animal, right? It's sometimes more is less. Or I'm sorry, sometimes less is more.
We've killed no moose so far. We heard a couple calling. They think they heard 2 different bulls and maybe a cow. But it's just been like a stunning, stunning morning. I was behind you going like this. $10 minutes, you said, and we'll go?
Yeah.
Check some trail cams?
Yeah.
Trail cams have been out for how long, you said? 6 weeks?
2
Yeah.
2 months, 6 weeks.
Well, longer than 6, but last time we were in here it was...
Can you put some apples out for them?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
A lot of ears. Ooh, that's a nice bull.
That's a nice bull.
Ooh. Ooh.
Look at that velvet bull.
Wow.
Some calves. That's that little forker.
That's a nice bull.
Yeah, 2 bulls. Are they sparring friendly?
Aw.
Little friendly sparring.
You think those are the ones we heard?
Yep, I think so, yeah. I mean, yeah, makes sense. It's literally the story we heard this morning,
Yeah.
right?
Nice. That's obviously a moose track, Troy. Can you tell if it's a bull or a cow based off of that?
Probably a bull. See these right here? That indention? Dew claws off the back of the hoof. It's usually from a heavier animal that makes that.
Interesting. There's a lot of tracks in here.
I know.
I know you want.
Season opener in the zone we were hunting coincides with the beginning of the rut, aka moose mating season. The ability to call these animals at this time of year, in my mind, is one of the pinnacles of big game hunting. While I hadn't experienced it myself, I just got goosebumps thinking about one of these encounters. After our morning sit, we checked a few trail cams, and we could tell that we were definitely in the right area. What's the plan, guys?
We're gonna go for a canoe ride down a river.
A beautiful river, majestic river.
It's pretty majestic.
Fantastic. Super safari, here we come.
I've heard it's called Moose River.
Moose River.
Is that true?
It's called a lot of Moose River.
a lot of Moose River.
We're back for the evening session, and yeah, I guess normally you take a little midday break and then you get ready for sunset. Just like muskie fishing, sunrise, sunset are kind of the key times. So we're doing something a little different, and I'm pretty excited to get in a canoe. Hopefully, do not fall out. We're all good. Well, we were parking the boats. We're going stealth. There's a canoe stashed here, and that's going to be our next mode of transportation. That is the biggest canoe I've ever seen. You can put a moose in there?
You can put an adult moose and a calf in it.
Wow. I see a moose. Troy and Bailey had described the river accurately. It was nothing short of magical. Although I'm a rookie in all things hunting, this was by far the moosiest looking place I'd ever seen. We paddled our way downstream for a few kilometers and then turned around to start making our way back. As we got to a narrow spot in the river, I noticed a fresh set of tracks along the riverbank. At that point, we stopped paddling and Troy began to call. After a few seconds, we started to hear some branches cracking in the bush. My heart was about to pound out of my chest. Then the moose stepped out. At first, we were unable to tell if it was a cow or a small bull. With myself being the only one in the crew with a cow tag, Troy told me to get ready. Once we got a better look as he stepped out, we realized it was a young bull. This wasn't the moose Troy was looking for. We sat there and just admired this beautiful creature standing 50 yards in front of us. Look at that hair. Turn sideways.
Float.
Here we go, day 2. Wear your life jackets. The previous evening had me fired up. I came into this trip knowing the possibility of not even seeing a moose at all. Encountering one that close the first evening had already made my trip. I couldn't wait for what was next. That morning we headed back to the river to see if there was more moose activity. As we rounded the corner, we saw the first cow moose of the trip. Unfortunately, she was on the wrong side of the river, meaning this moose was just outside of the area we could harvest a moose. Welcome back to camp, to the outpost. Thought this would be a great time to give you guys a tour of this this pretty sweet location. So they use this obviously as a hunting outpost in the fall for moose, but also I'm told there's some really good walleye fishing and pike fishing in this lake, which hopefully we get a sample yet this trip. But you know, obviously the moose is the focus. But you can see, got a fleet of boats. And here's the main lodge. Secondary cabin. This is where Bailey and Troy are staying in. Back there, you got the shower shack. There's a generator running back there. There's a moose cooling like shed, a giant walk-in cooler they use. So, you know, on a day like today, it's like plus 25 Celsius. If we were to get a moose, we would need to put it in that cooler right away, which is, you know, a very nice asset to have. Deep fryer, barbecue, and let's go inside. Here is the main cabin, and it is beautiful. Dining area, there's upstairs with 2 beds, 1 bedroom over there, 2 beds, so much storage. This is Brandon's room, just give you a little peek. Yeah, like look at this kitchen, this is perfect. Propane fridge, stove, just missing the dishwasher, but yeah, this is a pretty sweet cabin. I was expecting to be roughing it a little bit more, but that's what we're looking for. Oh, look at this. Nicely stocked with fish batter as well. This moose hunting is long days, but I don't know, it gets you up early for these beautiful mornings. Some weather's supposed to roll in. I think the storm's supposed to come in tonight. Tomorrow's supposed to be just a downpour, so we'll see how that affects things. And then it's supposed to get cold. So I think, talking to the guys, that will probably be when the moose activity picks up. But I mean, we've seen moose, you know, or had close encounters like every session we've gone out. So that's all I got for you. We will see you guys a little bit later, maybe after I take a nap. That's what we're dealing with. A little bit of weather.
Yeah.
The weather changed big time. This is good,
yeah,
right?
this is like the stall between the wind front's coming, right? We just finished with the south wind, now it's going to turn to the north wind this afternoon, yeah.
We were going to go fishing. Now we're going back to the magical, mystical Moose Creek, we're going to call it. I don't know if it actually has a name, but every time we've been there, we've seen some moose activity, so I'm happy. We can fish afterwards, but getting the moose is priority. So I want to see a big bull come out in front of Troy. That's the dream. Wouldn't you guess it, the moment we made it back down Moose Creek, the skies opened up again. And not in a good way, a downpour. It might not have been ideal for hunting conditions, but it certainly made for some epic footage of Troy. Well, we are back from the rain. It was like such a tease when it was nice and calm and like brightening outside, and then we went out and we should have checked the radar. But yeah, we got poured on. It felt moosey, but it just didn't happen, but that's okay. We're on kind of a different schedule now. We just came back from hunting. It's 4 o'clock, so we are going to experience, sample the walleye fishing here and catch some dinner. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully cameras don't get too wet. Going fishing. So something I love to pack for flying trips like this is a little portable kit. I got a little ammo box from Princess Auto. Got the Dakota Lithium inside. This is a Helix 7. I just like it because it has auto charting capabilities, which means it creates a map as you drive. So this lake, we don't know much about, but as we drive, it'll create a map, and you know, you might see some humps as you're driving, or you know, extended reef, something like that. So anyways, got this portable bracket, and we're gonna attach it on the back and go do some driving around. We talked to Troy. He pointed out a couple spots to try near the camp. The entire lake and this guy fishes right beside us. All right, we're doing it. Pink jig, and we're gonna use a gulp minnow. I think the guys have live minnows here as well, but I like to bring these gulp minnows kind of wherever I go, just as backup if there isn't bait. And there you have it. Oh, there's a fish right there. Let's see how long this takes. I'm told the walleye fishing's good here. Warm fish sounds just so good right now. Oh, and we're on. Does not feel big, but it is our first walleye. And that is gonna taste just fine. You know, you could bring live minnows, but this gulp definitely does the trick. So this guy's coming home with us. This is what gives me the confidence to stay here, is those nice marks, 18, 19 feet. These lakes are just so chocked full of walleyes since there's just no pressure on them, so. Oh! That was just instant. Are we gonna catch bigger? Yeah, we're gonna catch bigger. Changing to a jigging style bait, flat wrap I think it's called. I guess we'll see. Oh wow. That was instant. Get in the boat. Nom 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 nom. Absolutely delicious after a cold day out on the water. This is actually probably the closest I've caught to a blue walleye. Look at that blue tinge in there. That's pretty cool. Troy was telling me they're kind of blue in here. There we go. Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh boy, that one's too big to eat. That is sweet. This guy we're gonna put back. So I'm using a 7.5 foot medium light. It helps keep the fish pinned. You just lose a lot of fish on these jigging wrap style baits. 10-pound braid, 12-pound fluoro. We got him. Might be dinner. Feeling like dinner. That's dinner. All right, I think we got enough for a nice fish fry. I think this is our biggest one yet. Had to catch a couple more. And wow, these fish are thick. Nicest walleye yet. Big, perky, and such a beautiful fish. All right. I am so excited to go into a warm cabin with a nice fire going in there. Look at this place. Like, how sweet is this? When I think of moose hunting, I think of living in a wall tent and being wet for 10 days. We're gonna go dry out, eat some fish, get ready for tomorrow. Well guys, it is day 5 I think at Moose Camp. 5 of 7. And yesterday didn't really see any activity. We got a drop in temperature again. Nice calm, foggy morning. This is what I picture. This is very similar to the first morning where we had those moose calling back. So headed to a place called Cow Bay. And I have a cow tag, so this might be a good place to harvest my first cow. Obviously there could be bulls there as well. But just look at this morning. Sometimes it's tough when you get to bed at midnight and get up at 4. But this kind of makes it worth it. Got Bailey on the back, running the trolling motor. Yeah, what a morning.
I always try to keep a positive attitude even if it feels like conditions aren't ideal. But this morning, conditions did feel ideal. Temperature had dropped and the wind was non-existent. This was a moosey morning.
Where's Adam and Cow Bay? This is like the moosiest feeling morning yet. Thick fog. A lot of dew on all the branches. And a lot of coffee running through my veins right now. A lot of caffeine. I feel good.
There's something walking in the water a long ways away. I heard it, right?
I heard it.
Right, you heard it over there too, right, Brad?
I heard it.
Heard it again. He's grunting.
Yeah.
Just the way the wind is and whatnot, I'm undecided. He could be naturally just walking to us, or just kind of listening.
So you'll just wait and see what happens. A little calm.
A little bit, yeah. But one problem is if he comes across, we won't be able to shoot through the fog, probably.
He's swimming towards us.
Pardon?
He swims towards us.
Well, I mean, even if he's on that other shoreline, we wouldn't probably be able to see him, right? So hopefully he's coming this way, but eventually I'll do some calling. He grunted again. Making his way down. Me calling. Like he was grunting, right? We heard him naturally grunting. So with me calling, he might go quiet for a minute, walk a distance, and he'll probably start grunting again, which, he's kind of been doing. He's kind of making his way down. So I've been doing like quieter cow calls, because I know he can hear me. It's really calm out, so I'm just being subtle, so he doesn't sound like I'm too loud or too close. I want him to be able to walk in over here. Yeah. Real comfortable.
The anticipation was building as Troy had a bull calling from across the bay. The question was, could we get it to walk out towards us and break through the fog? Troy began hitting branches with his paddle to mimic another bull. Once again, the moose eluded us, but that's just how it goes sometimes. And as I experienced a new type of hunting, it's easy to compare it to past hunting experiences I've had. And over the week, I came to love the communal aspect of moose hunting. While we had the excitement that a big critter could walk out at any moment, we were also able to share laughs and stories as a group while we were waiting.
Well, what I lack in moose hunting skills, well, maybe we'll make up for it in walleye catching skills. We'll see. We are going fishing for a little afternoon session. Gonna catch some walleyes for dinner. And we're going down the lake. We're going to a new spot that Troy told us about, an inflow of a river, and apparently it's loaded with walleyes. So we got like 2 hours, like the nicest wedding we've had yet. Yeah, good to set that hook. I'm just feeling it. We're on a fish. Is it a Cisco? Is it a perch? Is it a lake trout? Is it a pike? Or is it a blue walleye? Apparently they get even more blue in the wintertime, Troy was saying, to the point that when he lays them on the snow, it actually turns the snow blue. Kind of crazy. Oh, wow! That fish just crushed it. Look at that big, beautiful walleye. We're liking this. Ooh, there we go. There you go. On these jigging style baits, I like to have a little clip on top, and it just gives it a little more movement. It's easy to switch baits, but you know, tying it straight. I don't often use clips like that, but for jigging wraps, I've started doing it, and it definitely seems to give the bait a little more movement. I just marked a waypoint the first time I saw, you know, a cluster of more than one fish, and just consistently every time I come back to that waypoint, there's just fish hanging around it. It could be the transition from the mud to the rock, but sometimes there's just like a spot on a spot because I'm not marking them everywhere. There we go, golden beauties. Average size is like 17 inches. Sweet.
It wasn't a surprise to me, but the walleye fishing was absolutely top notch, and certainly a great way to break up the day and provide some amazing fresh meat for dinner. But I still couldn't stop thinking about that moose encounter from the first night. We only had a few days left, and I knew at any moment we could round the corner and see the animal we'd been waiting for.
Fun little afternoon session. That was the best fishing yet. We got Bailey over here, still catching him. Oh, look at that timing.
Ooh, that is a nice walleye, eh?
We didn't end the day with a moose, but we're gonna end the day with a fish fry. Walleye fishing is pretty easy on this lake, and we're doing a little catch and cook. Well, you guessed it, catch and cook. And we got a little pile of meat here, and we're gonna be eating a bunch tonight. Save some for some fish sandwiches on the water or shore tomorrow. Nothing beats fresh walleye.
This is you here.
Ooh, very cool. Good way to end the day. You got your potatoes, you got your fish, and we got some beans and some salad. Unreal. Unreal. Thanks to Chef Bailey making this happen. That looks good. It is the last day. Morning just feels likely to make it happen. I have good vibes in the evening, but morning just feels really good. Wind from the southwest? Southeast. Tiny Troy, they call him. Troy's cell phone, actually, whenever he got registered with his cell phone provider, they punched him in as Big Troy. So when you get a phone call, it's like, who's Big Troy? Well, this is Big Troy. Feeling moosey.
I'd received a crash course in moose hunting over the week. I can't say I'd now feel confident to go out on a solo moose hunt, but I now understand some of the basics of moose behavior. I knew however this trip ended, it wouldn't be my last time I'd be moose hunting. And I was already discussing plans with Troy to come the following season, regardless of the outcome. Another session without any activity, but I knew we still had one last chance that evening.
We gotta go. Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We're portaging into a lake. We haven't been there yet. The wind's right for it. They tell us they get moose every time they go there. Typical guide holding out the last day. I'm just kidding. I'm an ex-guide. I know how it is. They don't hide the best. Anyways, we're going to a portage lake. I just love seeing new spots, so I'm excited for it. And anything you want to add?
I'm excited for it.
He's excited.
The wind's right for it. We haven't been there all week.
Wait. Forgot my 7-Up. All right. Oh my. Oh no. They leave without it. This is a disaster. No, now it's shook. Well, we're stripping down the layers because it is warm. I expected moose hunting to be frosty and cold and just chattering teeth the whole time, and they brought me on a tropical vacation. Anyways, they checked the trail cam from the spot we sat this morning, which is also the spot we sat the first morning, and there was a bull on camera. So that's a good sign that there's mooses moving around. Sorry, mice is plural?
Meese?
Meese?
I think it's just moose.
South is...
So we're relying on moose to come up from this direction or from over here?
Yeah.
So the wind's blowing this way at us.
Is that okay?
It's still hunted. It's good.
All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're thought about maybe not doing it, but we're doing it.
We'll do it.
We're doing it.
We'll do it.
Lake Brandon, we're calling it.
Brando Lake.
It's only because I've seen the river so many times.
I hate that river.
I'm starting to get mad at that river.
We call it Mooseless River.
Mooseless River.
I'm just melting. I'm not made for this. I will be one day. Should we just go back to the river? That's good. A lot of moose signs. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. It's nice to feel strong once in a while when you're around Troy. Kind of always steals the show. So I got this little trick I made up, and you put a little notch in here for a gun rest. Troy said while he's waiting, he puts a little notch in the paddle, so works as a gun rest. I think it's pretty cool. I just need a moose to test it out. Well, we didn't get a moose. I knew it wouldn't be easy, and I was right. But all that being said, I don't think harvesting such a beautiful animal like that should be easy. I think if I'm fortunate enough to notch my moose tag next year, it'll be that much sweeter. Wouldn't you have guessed it though, 4 days after leaving camp, Troy and Bailey went back in to try to fill Troy's bull tag. On their first day, they were able to call out the giant that we had seen earlier on the trail cam. Troy got it done. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit jealous that we couldn't be along for it, but I couldn't be more happy for Troy and Bailey to see all their hard work pay off. Troy and Bailey, thank you so much for sharing your little piece of paradise with me and Brandon, and I can't wait to come back. Until next year.